Hello.
Hello, this is Lee from Heartfm. Phoning up to speak to Katy from Katy Lied.
This is Katy and Duncan.
Ah, hello. You must be Duncan then.
I am.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. Yeah, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Are we going to be able to chat to both of you?
Yes, we're both here too.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Nice to hear you.
Hello, how are you doing?
We're wonderful. We're wonderful here in Spain. Basically, I'd just like to ask you a little bit about the band, if I could, because I'm very confused, but then I'm a simple bloke, so that's probably why. The band was called Katy Lied before Katy joined, is that right?
That's correct, yeah, and it's spelled differently as well. It's Katy, Katy Lied, and Katy that sat next to me is Katie.
Ah.
So it was a pure coincidence that she ended up in a band called Katy Lied.
It's a very good coincidence, though, isn't it?
It's a bit confusing now for everybody.
Now, the band itself was formed, and you had an album out, and I believe you were already in the band, Duncan. And,
yeah, it was really me that put it together in the first place. So, we did have an album out, and before Katy joined, that's right.
And you do also most of the writing as well.
Yeah, I do most of the writing. All the songs are written or co-written by me so far.
Where did the inspiration for the name come from? Is it from the album?
Yes, it is, yeah. I couldn't think of a name for the band, so I was looking through some old records and found Katy Lied by Steely Dan, and just liked the name.
It's a great name.
Yeah, well, thank you. I just went, asked the others, and they all sort of said, yeah, okay.
Now, the second album that's out at the moment, which we've got a copy of, is absolutely beautiful, I must admit. I really love the visuals, the sort of whole presentation of the album. It's not sort of something that you'd normally get. Is that something which you designed or somebody designed for you?
Well, Katy and I had quite a lot to do with it. We had it designed for us, but we had ideas that we took to an artist, really. And so there's a little bit of us in there as well, we're really pleased with it. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it.
Oh, I thought it's brilliant, and when you open it up and you get the book inside and everything, it's really fascinating. The imagery itself is very sort of, if you don't mind me saying, very sort of 60s in its sort of presentation.
Really?
Is that something you were looking for? Is it just something which came about naturally?
I think it must have just come about naturally, really.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see what you mean, especially with sort of the colours and brown and oranges and things like that.
I suppose we had a kind of slightly retro idea, but I never referenced the 60s before, but hey, we don't mind that.
Oh, interesting.
It's all right, I'm old. Now, the music itself, I think, has been compared to sort of South Coast sound of the States. In fact, the first time I actually listened to the band, I thought, oh, are they American? Is that, once again, something intentional, or is it just the way the music's lent itself?
It wasn't by design. It just happened like that. And I think that it probably reflects some of my influences earlier on in music and the other people in the band as well. But it's just the way it's turned out. We haven't tried to emulate any particular sound with Katy Lied. We've just tried to do our own thing.
And you've also had a few guests on the album as well, recording, and Thea Gilmore, I think, is one of the guests.
Yeah.
Was it fun working with her?
Yeah, Thea's lovely. And I wrote one of the songs with her on the album as well, Piece by Piece. And she's worked with us on the first two albums. She's done background vocals on she's a really nice person.
Now, the album's complete. It's out there. It's available for people to buy. Are you actually going on tour and touring the album itself?
Well, we have been gigging around the UK, and we're at the moment, actually, believe it or not, we're in the studio working on another album.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. we haven't wasted any time. We've been doing gigs around the UK since I don't know, probably 9 or 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that long?
Yeah.
And then we started working on putting together a new album, and it's quite well on in its development now.
Where do you prefer working? Is it in the studio or out on the road? Which environment do you prefer?
I really think both are good, really. Obviously, getting in the studio.
Sorry, Katy, I can hardly hear you.
Okay, sorry. Right. Yeah, both are great, really. I mean, obviously, we love performing live, and obviously, we've been up around the country, visiting various places. But also the studio is great because we get to be as creative as we can, and so it's fantastic, really. Both are great.
Good.
I think as well. I like being in the studio, and it's a totally different thing, really. And then I like playing with the others live and seeing what comes out, and so yeah. Two different things.
A lot of bands go onto the sort of festival circuit and are sort of looking at doing festivals around this time of year throughout the summer. Have you got any plans like that?
No, we haven't really got any. I mean, we'd love to play some of the festivals. We're finding it quite hard to actually to find gigs. There just seems to be so many bands vying for the same spaces at the festivals. So we're still hopeful that we'll get into one or two, and there seem to be so many more festivals now. But we haven't got any major plans to be playing at them, as much as we'd love to be playing.
With the album Echo Games, that was all produced and recorded in Liverpool. Is that a place you like sort of recording in? Do you find it inspiring?
Yeah, we up until now, we've done all the recording in Liverpool, although we've used several different studios in Liverpool. It was just a geographical convenience at the time because it's where we knew most people, and there were good studios, and it was handy for our producer. Actually, the current album that we're working on, we've recorded in a different location, in a residential studio, because we wanted to actually stay there and just be able to work whenever we wanted to, really. So we've been trying that this time.